What's up? It's me, Tully, and today we are back with another video. So, one topic I really wanted to talk about on here is kind of how to grow on Instagram, because I get asked that sometimes in my DMs a lot. I mean, sometimes I don't respond on my DMs, but that doesn't mean I don't look at a lot of them. It's a question that I've been asked by quite a lot of people. So I just thought that maybe I would talk about it on here, because coming from someone that I'm not huge on Instagram, but I've got a bit of a platform, a little bit of a following, so I just thought I would talk about it today. Normally people ask how I started out and how I just got big and how you get a bunch of views and all that stuff. And really, it's so simple, just people don't really take the time to think about it. Number one, you just gotta kind of plan it out. So you gotta plan your posts, you find the best times to post at, and you gotta use trends. Trends are really big on social media, and once you get bigger, you don't have to follow the trends. You can kind of do your own thing, but to start out, you need to do the trends, because the trends are gonna push your sound, your video. It's gonna be out there. You should use trending sounds, that's what you should do on TikTok. But we're talking about Instagram, and on Instagram you can kind of do original sounds. You just gotta kind of follow the trends. Sit down and scroll through TikTok, and if you see audios that number one you do and number two work with your niche, that's what's gonna get pushed out. So you save those sounds. And then now me, I used to make Taylor Swift content, but now I kind of talk about more stuff. But I've always made relatable stuff, relatable content, because that's kind of what I do. My Instagram and my TikTok, they're both all relatable content, and that's how I get my views, because people post me to their stories, and it just pushes my stuff out there. That's how the views come in and the likes, and that's what you've really got to do. You gotta kind of focus on about what you want to do, but you have to make sure you're kind of passionate about what you're doing, and you're not just doing it for the views. You're not gonna want to keep doing something you don't something really big that I used to do in the beginning was I used to post multiple times a day. Now you may be well, I just want to post a couple times a week. You're not going to get out there if you don't post a lot. If you only post every few weeks, you're not going to do well in the algorithm, because not that many people are going to be seeing your videos as much, and you're not going to gain a following, because there's a difference between someone following just for a little bit and someone that wants to keep up with your life. Kind of when you gain a follower, they follow to see your content, and they're gonna unfollow if you're not posting regularly, because you're not putting out the content that they like to see. That's why you also can't just switch your content. You can't just switch it until you gain a following. Once you gain a following, you can kind of explore new ideas, but when you're just starting out, you need to stick within a tight little niche. One thing I definitely did was I planned out my scheduling. So I would usually post 3 times a day in the very beginning. I would find 3 trending audios, and I would use those sounds and talk about topics that were relevant. When I first started posting, it was summer, early summer, right when school got out. So a lot of people were talking about Speak Now Taylor's Version. So a lot of my content around that time were about Speak Now Taylor's Version, and also kind of about relationships, because I was single all summer. So that's all I really talked about, was my relationships and Speak Now TV. And then when Speak Now TV, we kind of transitioned into 1989 very quickly. So I kind of just talked about those 2 things, and that's it. And then when the school year started, I kind of started posting a lot less. My views started really decreasing really quickly as the school year progressed, because I wasn't posting and I just didn't feel like it. And I've kind of been on a downward progression since, up until kind of recently, and I went back up, and I had a really big spike in the beginning of January, and I'm not getting that kind of following every day now, but I'm still going up in followers. If you kind of see the progression, I've gained a lot. I went from 30k, just around 30k in the beginning of the year, all the way up to 50k now. I've gained almost 20,000 followers since December, because I was at a standstill and just decreasing all throughout October, November, December. And in December, I posted something that was a little risky and kind of different. It was the first video I posted about me and Steven. And because I had always posted about girls, because I go both ways. So I had someone I liked, so I've always posted about girl content, but I never really talked about boys. So like when I first posted the first video of me and Steven, I lost 500 followers, which is crazy. I was like, wow, because people were like, they were like, oh man, like I had a crush on him. I'm not into that, and like so I plummeted. Then I just kind of went back up because people are like, oh, but because I also gained like a lot of followers from that, so I like went down and up really quickly. It's a very confusing day. Okay, but back to like starting. When you start out social media, you need to really think about what you want to do, and you need to like stick with like one thing. Like you really need to do that. So you need to start like small and then start gradually expanding into more content, because once you like capture the whole community, once you capture like the whole community of what you're trying to speak about and make about and push out into the world and what you're preaching about, then you can start expanding, because you've already collected that group of people and they're going to start sharing and they're going to want to start seeing more content, because it's going to get boring if you just post the same thing over and over and over again. And I really try not to use sounds very often, like double use it, because when you double use it, it's kind of pushing out the same thing twice, which is not what people want to see. They want to see new original content, and you can't do that if you just keep doing the same thing. It's very easy to like see someone's video go viral and be like, I want to do that because I'm gonna go viral. Don't copy something word for word. Don't do that, because I've had a few people copy my things word for word, and like, number one, like that's just like come on. You didn't have to do it word for word, but you definitely want to hop on the trends and kind of word it like just like a little bit differently, so that way you're not stealing someone's idea, but you're also putting out your own ideas into the world. You want to put out stuff that's true to you, but also true to other people, and like in ways that people can relate. What I try to do is I post a lot of content about me and my boyfriend, and like, which isn't like bad, but you also have to do it in like a way people can relate to it if they're single or if they're in a relationship, something that everyone can relate to and like that the general public will understand. Because if you do something too specific, people are just gonna be like, huh, like it's not gonna do as well as if you put out something that's more relatable. Now, almost all my videos are me like lip singing, and then also like a little text box like that like goes with the audio. You don't want to do two things that like totally don't match up, because if you do that, people will be confused and you won't gain the likes. Now, views, you cannot be worried about views, okay? Like, you need to not worry about what other people like think, especially like at school. If you want to do this but you don't want people to know at school, this is not the path you want to take, because almost like all my friends know that I do this. Like, people from school come up to me and talk about it. Like, you can't hide it, if that makes sense. Like, you can't be like trying to avoid people knowing that you do this, because people are gonna make fun of you. Like, womp. Like, they're gonna make fun of you for it, but oh well. Like, in the end, it works out for you, not for them, and they're just kind of, maybe they're just jealous that you're going somewhere and they're not. Like, I've had people like come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, I saw your Instagram. Okay, cool, you saw it. Like, oh well, for me, like, are you trying to embarrass me that I post? Like, I always make jokes about like being famous, but I'm not like really famous. I mean, 50k is a lot. It's a good chunk of following, but like, you also don't want to be like too braggy about it, if that makes sense. Like, humble yourself, okay? Like, it's not that hard for just anyone. I mean, anyone. Like, I've been really big on social media since I was really little. Like, I had Musical.ly back in the day, which is crazy. I've had Musical.ly for almost 8 years. I got my first account on September 26th, 2016, which was such a long time ago. Like, those accounts aren't up anymore. But like, my TikTok account, the one that people from school know about, I've had that one for 5 years. Well, like 5 years in August.
Maybe it will be 6. I actually don't know. When did, no, it was 6 years. Oh my gosh. My God, 2018.
You just can't be embarrassed about it, if that makes sense. Another thing, like, keep up, because you need to like keep up with the content you're creating, because like I said, you need to post a lot in the very beginning, and then you can start like decreasing the amount you post, because you've got the group of people and they'll be waiting on your next post. But in the beginning, you need to keep pushing out, and that's like how you need to get started. You just need to keep posting, and you're gonna want people to like post out your content. Another thing I used to do in the very beginning was go live a lot. Like I went live almost every night in like June and July because like people wanted to see me live and I wanted more people to know me, and live is a good way for people like just like scrolling through live streams to come and like introduce yourself. You want to like put yourself out there, not too much, don't reveal too much personal stuff about yourself, but you want people to like know about you and get to know you. It's like not that hard. It's just like communication with the followers, and you want to show them like that you're an actual person too. Like you need to communicate with them and basically talk to them person to person, because that's a really good way for people to be like, oh, he's relatable, she's relatable, like I understand them, and they'll just want to keep seeing more and more of their content. Another thing I want to talk about is comments. If you can't handle rude comments, either number one, turn it off, or two, this is not for you. You can't let the comments affect you. People comment stuff all the time on my videos, and you just kind of gotta ignore it, because I don't even read my comments that much. Like every once in a while I'll go through, and like, yeah, some of them can be like hurtful, but then you gotta remember, like, you don't know these people. Like, what are they yapping about? Especially if you're on Instagram, like it's Instagram Reels. What do you expect? I post on almost all platforms. I post on TikTok, I post on YouTube, obviously, I post on Instagram. I just post on almost everything. Certain things are touchy with other things, if that makes sense. Like certain things you post on TikTok aren't gonna work on YouTube. YouTube is kind of more of like a chill, relaxed space. TikTok is definitely more chill, and Instagram is very like, Instagram is really agonizing to post on. You need to like really like have boundaries, and like if you're gonna post on Instagram, you've got to expect hate. Like there's like, if you post on Instagram, there's like a 0% chance that you aren't gonna get hate, because it's freaking Instagram Reels. Like what are you expecting? Just don't take offense to anything, because when you take offense to anything, that shows your weakness, and like people don't like that. Like you can't let anything affect you. So another thing is, if you're not getting the views you want, don't worry, keep posting, because you will eventually get like a video that does really well. You just don't know which one it's going to be. You may think a video is so good and it may do so bad. You might spend so much time on a video and it does bad, but you make a 6-second video and it becomes your most viewed video. I have a 6-second video out there and it's my most viewed with 8 million views. And the ratio is not even that bad. It's 8 million views and 600,000 likes, which kinda off, but like it's a lot. Also, with the view thing, you're gonna have spikes and you're gonna have valleys. You're just gonna have lows, and you don't need to worry about that. If you post a video and it doesn't do as well as the other videos, don't let that bother you and don't let that upset you, because it could always turn back around. You can post a reel and it does nothing for like a week, and then a week later or a month later or months later it can do really well. It can come back in the algorithm and make a comeback. So you can't like worry about that stuff too much, because there's always the chance. And also, don't take videos down. If you take videos down, you're more likely to get shadow banned, and you're also losing out on potential views. Now, I'm not monetized on anything, so I don't make money. I just do it for fun right now. That's why I'm kind of like trying to start a YouTube channel, because I want to get to the point where I can make money off of this, because I enjoy doing it, and not for like a full-time career, but I think this is fun to do, like as like a part-time thing, like in the background. It's just fun to do with my life. I don't really currently have a job. I might this summer, probably, hopefully, but like this doesn't have to be my job, but like, I mean, making a few bucks off of doing this would be kind of nice, because I spend a lot of time working on it. And like, you can't like be judged on not having like the nicest equipment. Like, I mean, I have this microphone, but like that's it. Like, I have a stand that my phone sits on. Like, I don't have a camera, I just use my phone. Like, who cares? Like, no one's gonna judge you. No one has to know. It's not like if you use a camera, you're any better than anyone else. You also like can't like get too like paranoid when you're posting on social media. You can't be like nervous people are gonna judge you, because guess what, you're gonna be judged no matter what. But like, you just gotta keep going. I don't know if this is really helpful at all, but like, also like likes and like ratio, you might get a lot of views but not a lot of likes, because especially if you make shorter content. If you make longer content, you're not gonna get as many views, because if you make a shorter video, people will accidentally rewatch it over and over and over again, which will get you more views. Because even though my most viewed video is like 8 million, it only has like 4 million people that it actually got reached to. People just watch it over and over again. It's more likely that people are going to watch it twice than just one time, because it's so short. Especially if you have like a longer paragraph and it's shorter, people are going to keep watching it over and over again to be able to read the full thing and like listen to the full sound and like read it. You know what I mean? It all just depends on how you work it out and how you plan it out. And with YouTube, I kind of been slacking in the recent months, but you also just need to keep up with it. Like, you just need to keep up. Like, that's like the biggest thing about social media. Don't take breaks, especially in the beginning. Once I hit like 25,000, like 25,000-ish, I kind of like started to settle down. Topic switch. Keep up with yourself and don't make social media your whole life. Because in the summer, social media was like my whole life. And then when I started getting my life back together and like I started having more fun and happiness in my life, that's when I started posting less. And now that I'm at a good balance of happiness in my life, I'm able to start working on social media even more because I'm happy with myself. So I want to keep up with the happiness, but also be doing something I love, because I actually love to make videos and I love to talk to people. Like, I want to be known. Like, I don't mind people knowing me. Some people want to be like more shy and kept to themselves, but I like people knowing who I am. And so that's like a big thing with this. Like, if you want people to know who you are, Instagram is a really good way for you to get out there. Especially with reels, because people scroll through reels. That's why like YouTube shorts, you can get really famous off of YouTube shorts. I'm not really big on YouTube shorts right now because I don't really make content that's like part of the YouTube shorts algorithm, but eventually I want to start getting more like that, like short vlogs that can fit in a minute. You know what I mean? I don't know if this helps at all, but if it did, please let me know. And if there's anything more you want me to continue off of this, I totally can. And I'll try to answer as many questions as I can, because assuming that there's not going to be too many. Thank you guys for watching this video. Also, thank you guys for like supporting me, because like 50k is a lot. Like, I didn't really do like an official thank you. I mean, I did it on my story, but I don't really make videos about that. And 50,000 followers means so much to me. Like, it's crazy that 50,000 people care so much about me. Like, what? Like 50,000. Like, that's 4 zeros. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing yet. I still have to continue with the artist series. Also, if you want, you can also keep commenting artists on this video, because I'm totally up for any suggestions out there. Again, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!